Hey everybody, it's Mike from Here the Watchman, and today we have as our guest Chance from American Survival Wholesale. And this is probably one of the most important shows that we've done in a while, because we're going to talk about being prepared. Now, you think at times, well, we're all preppers, we're getting ready for the end of the world. No, it's not all about that. It's about up here where I live, there's some days we can't get to town. We can't go into town because the snow comes and because the weather is such that we can't get there. Now, look at what's going on in California. I mean, we have Jeannie's kids are one's in Santa Barbara, one's at UCLA. There's fires burning there. My son is he's a teacher at UCSB. What do they do? Chance, tell us what we need to do to be prepared for these sort of events that come down.
Brother, first of all, thank you for having me on the phone. Listen, the issue is folks need to be prepared for any circumstances under control. And that's why we teach the training on survival on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. It is important to understand, just looking at the past history, the two major hurricanes that just came through, Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma, along with the fires that have been burning on the West Coast for a long time now. This is not about the end of the world, folks. This is about you preparing your family for an eventuality out of your control. So whether that be some emergency supplies like water, the most important thing that you can have, food, very, very important, having some a way to get out, and having the tools and the planning that goes with that and the training within your own family. This is what we need to do. So Mike, you and I talked about yesterday, we talked about, what if the grid went down? Okay, what if it went down just for 3 or 4 days? Do you have what you need to survive? Do you have what you need for your family? Or are you going to be one of the statistics? Well, these are the statistics. 90% of American adults are not prepared. They have less than 72 hours worth of food in their home. Which is interesting, Mike, because the grocery stores have approximately 72 hours worth of food in their stores, right? So we have to do what we need to do right now to prepare for any eventuality, okay? I am really excited. Within the next 60 days, Mike, I have an announcement to make, and I'm going to put it on your show first. We're going to talk about an amazing product that American Survival Wholesale has developed that you folks are going to absolutely love. I don't want to give it away right now, but it's coming soon. So anyway, I just ask anyone out there, if you need to prepare and you don't have, all of the tools that you need, give us a call. The consultation is free of charge. I'll spend the time with you up to a half an hour, no charge, and help you depending on where you're located, your family size, etc. We can get you through this. So give us a call, 818-720-0759, or send us an email, BUGOUT America, bug out America, @USA.com.
Well, Chance, I mean, when we look at this and we think about, preparing. People tend to think that when we prepare, we're preparing for the end of the world, okay, and that it's all about guns, gold, and God. Okay, but what we're saying here to everybody today is you need to be prepared in case there's a weather event or there's a natural disaster. I mean, let's look at this. I mean, the hurricanes, Hurricane Harvey, look what happened there. I mean, you look at where Jeannie and I live up in the mountains. I mean, you get snow like crazy. And there are days that you cannot leave your house. And so you have to be prepared for those days. So what do people need to do? What do they need to be aware of?
You know, something that, Mike, we have not discussed on your show, some things that most people overlook. You know, they'll get the food, they'll get the water, they have maybe an alternative way of heating, but they forget the small things. So ask yourself, what type of fuel, number one, do you use in your vehicle? Okay, if it's diesel, good news, guys, you need to store about 20 gallons of diesel for your vehicle, okay? If it's gasoline, you need to store about 25 gallons of gasoline for your vehicle. And the most important thing is understanding that diesel will last years in a diesel container, but gasoline will not. So you need to add a stabilizer to allow that gas to last up to 12 months in the can. So even if 12 months passes, okay, you take that gasoline, you put it in your vehicle, you use it, you fill it up again, you add more stabilizer. People forget these little things, okay? If you have a fireplace, a wood-burning fireplace in your home, do not wait until wintertime to cut some firewood. Cut some firewood, you know, seasoned firewood, stack it. You need about 2 cords. Say there's no help for 12 months, you need 2 cords of firewood to keep your family warm, okay? If you don't have a fireplace, that same wood, if you have trees on your property that are down, go ahead and have that firewood ready in case you need to set up a grill, a rocket stove, or something like that in your backyard in case of an emergency.
Well, you know, I mean, you bring up some important points, Chance, and those points are that the time to prepare is not after the fact. The time to prepare is before the fact. And you know, if the grid goes down, if we, I mean, we talked yesterday about the fact that, you know, if you don't have electricity, I mean, what happens to most people when their power goes out?
The honest truth is, most folks will make it through the first 48 hours, no problem. And then there's the 10% that have prepared, so they have emergency long-term storable food on hand, right? Something that's got at least a 20-year shelf life. Then there's the folks who didn't prepare. So they're going to get in their vehicles and they're going to drive down to the local store. They're going to find out that, boy, just about everything is gone. So what are they going to do? They're going to continue on driving to a town until they find something. Folks, that's not where you need to be. If you prepare now, all you need to do is to have a minimum of 6 months of food on hand. You need to have at least 200 gallons of water per person in your household, okay? Preferably stored in a BPA-free container. If you guys need help with that, again, give us a call.
Well, and that's the thing, Chance. I mean, what the people listening to this need to understand is that they can call you, they can talk to you, and they can have a plan for what to do if things go wrong. And you know what, folks? I'm going to tell you, things go wrong all the time. And so, Chance, when people call you and talk to you, I mean, how do you go about giving them the advice that they need during these tough times?
It's actually a really simple process. Basically, I ask a very detailed list of specific questions about where they're at right now as far as preparedness. So the location of where they live is very important. You know, you're up in the mountains of Idaho, so of course you're going to prepare differently than those that are going to be maybe down in the Sun Belt here in Texas. So having, you know, 20-degree sleeping bags on hand, very, very wise to keep yourself warm in an emergency. But we need to find out How many people are in your family? We need to find out how much food do you have stored? How much water do you have stored? Do you have a bug out location? Do you have a way to get to that bug out location? You know, what have you done up to this point? Let's talk about security. Are you armed? Do you know, are you trained in your specific weapon platform? You know, things like that. Do you have enough medical supplies? Do you have enough ammo? Do you have enough supplies to maybe barter with, to maybe trade with your neighbor for something that he has and you don't? Maybe that's that could be a skill, folks. Maybe your neighbor is just an incredible gardener and you happen to be an incredible welder. Well, you can trade your skills for their skills, right? So it's important. And speaking of that, you know, I really suggest to folks, part of preparedness is not just the physical things. It's not just, oh, I have my food, my bullets, my Band-Aids, right? It's not, you have to have a skill, okay? So maybe you're talented. Maybe the Lord has blessed you with a skill that maybe someone else doesn't have, or maybe you would like to learn first aid or CPR so that you can be of assistance when that time comes, or even for your own family, right? So I suggest that you learn a skill, maybe even canning. That's a great skill to learn. It's something that my grandparents, and I'm sure some of your grandparents and great-grandparents, they did this on a regular basis. Preparedness was just a part of life, folks, back in the 40s. So we are seeing some major climatic events, folks. We are not talking about worst case scenarios. We're not talking about Armageddon. We're talking about sunny Orange County, California, major earthquake, rocks, California. Are you prepared for that? Folks, understand, you will probably lose your power. Are you prepared for that? There's only one way to know. Give us a call.
Well, you know, Chance, I mean, I want to bring up, you do a radio show once a week now where you talk about these various things that we need to do to prepare for what's to come. How do people find your radio show? How do they listen to you? And what is it that you're really trying to teach?
Okay, let me answer the second question first. We teach preparedness. However, we are brothers and sisters in Christ. So first, it's spiritual preparedness. If you're spiritually prepared, meaning that you have a relationship with the Lord, you have the ability that someone that is maybe non-Christian, atheist, or Muslim does not have. You have the strength that the Holy Spirit provides to get you through that scenario, number one. And that's a big part of it, is having the frame of mind and having the ability to stay calm, and anything that might be fearful to you, get rid of that. Give that to God, okay? Give that to God. Give that over to the Lord. Deal with the situation at hand, okay? You're gonna have to make some tough choices, right? You're gonna have to make some sacrifices. So being spiritually prepared is number one, then physically prepared, and we can teach you how to do that. To answer your first question, if you go to AmericanFreedomRadio.com, www.AmericanFreedomRadio.com, you will find archives. If you just click on American Survival Wholesale, you will find the archives there. We teach on, financial preparedness. We've just taught a class on having the best gear, and we actually named the gear. You know, home security, hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, you name it. It's all there, and it's all free of charge. Take advantage of it, folks. It's a 2-hour show, so make sure you guys get a pen and paper and write down, you know, the important notes. They could absolutely save your life.
Well, you know, I mean, Chance, now people are going to say, and they say this about us all the time, that your radio show is all about you selling your survival products. But it's not at all, is it? I mean, I've been on your show. We've talked on your show. You your show is about being educated as to what you need to do to be ready for what's to come. Isn't that correct?
It's absolutely correct. It is not an infomercial for American Survival Wholesale. It is all about information and training to keep your family safe. Okay. Part of this is understanding that the Lord has given a gift to ASW that we can pass on. That training, I lived it. Okay. I spent time in the military in places that, you know, either you're going to get bit by an insect, like a spider or a snake, but you had to survive. You had to get through it with nothing. We went in these areas with absolutely nothing but a parachute and a knife. Okay. You know, 7 years in scouting has taught me their motto is be prepared. So if I can just pass on this information, it's not about the money, folks. It's about getting you prepared. This is what the Lord has put on our heart. This is part of our mission statement, as well as the Veterans Outreach Program.
Well, you know, I'm glad you bring that up, Chance, because, you know, up here in the mountains, like, I will not leave my house without a pocket knife. I won't. I have to have my pocket knife with me everywhere I go. And it's not because I'm afraid that someone's going to attack me or anything like that. It's that you never know what's going to happen. And is that the training that you're giving people, is how to get them ready to just go out the front door and not know what they're going to face?
You're absolutely right. And that's one thing that it doesn't matter what I'm wearing. It might be shorts, but I always carry a good pocket knife, folks. A good pocket knife can be a lifesaver. And I talk about a good, like, this is a Gerber spring action knife. So flip it with one hand. What I love about this particular knife, so you're going to get me down this rabbit hole. I get excited when we talk about survival tools. So not only can this knife clip on the belt, but it's got another clip on the top here. You can see that for a lanyard. You can actually hang it around your neck to keep your hands free. So you're absolutely right. The moment that you leave your home, you need to have a plan. Okay, you're going to get in your vehicle. Let's say that you guys are in some little town called Erie, Pennsylvania, and it's 20 degrees below zero. There's 1 million feet of snow on the ground. You know, there are some folks who've lived there all their life, and they're prepared for that. They have chains in their car. They have a bug out bag in their vehicle, you know. They even have the proper gear, like maybe an extra jacket and some gloves and a stocking cap, right? And then there's others who, you know, are not prepared for something like that. Well, you know, what if your vehicle breaks down? Okay, what are you going to do? What if you run out of gas? You get stuck in traffic? What are you going to do? If you're not prepared, you can die in that metal coffin of yours. Okay, so it's very, very important. Make sure that you guys have supplies on hand in your vehicle at all times. And I can help you put one of those together, again, free of charge, folks. Just give us a call, 818-720-0759.
Well, and that's what's important, folks. I mean, you need to talk to Chance. You need to go through what your plan is. I mean, we don't go anywhere up here without extra clothing in the cars, with water. We have water in the cars. We have food in the cars. Because you just never know. Your car could break down. You could have a flat tire. Now, imagine this. It's 20 degrees below zero, and you have a flat tire on the side of the road. Are you prepared to get out and change that tire? Can you do it? Do you even know how to change the tire? You know, I mean, that's an important thing. I mean, because you know what? Phones don't always work. There's
Right.
not always an opportunity for you to reach out to someone to help you. You have to be able to take care of yourself. And Chance, I guess what I really want our listeners today to understand is that you're using your experience from your military, and thank you for serving and for defending our freedom here in the United States. But you're using your experience from all your life to try and help people to better prepare themselves. Is that right?
Absolutely. This is what we call a give back. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, each and every one of us, at the end of the day, what have I done today to serve the Lord? What have I done today to serve my fellow brother and sister? Right? That's all part of it, folks. If you have a skill and you can pass that on to someone, maybe even the younger generation, which is another conversation we can have at another time. But you know, the younger generation, just they're not prepared. They don't understand, because everything has been given to us. It's so easy for folks to say, well, you know, I don't need to prepare because I have Safeway is 2 blocks away. Yes, you do. You do need to prepare. Okay. Oh, I think I have enough food to last. I've got, you know, 7 cans of chili, you know, in my cupboard. Well, okay, there's 7 meals for yourself. Okay. So are you prepared? No, you're not prepared. Is your home a Target? You know, what if things, the grid goes down and you've got someone at your front door? Is your home a Target? You know, what have you done to secure your home? Do you have a camera system? Do you have anything like that? Right? You're absolutely right, Mike. Your phone might not work, right? So if you do have a flat tire in Erie, Pennsylvania, you're not going to be able to call AAA or one of your friends to help. Okay, they're not going to be there for you, right? You're going to have to do it yourself. And it's something that I wish, like my dad, when I was less than 8 years old, asked me to help him change a tire. So he taught me very young. There's grown men out there that cannot change their own tire. It's scary.
Well, but that is Chance. I mean, what you bring up right there, that is what is scary about the world that we're in today. I mean, if you think about it, I can change the tire on my own car if I have to. Now, do I want to? Nope. I'd rather have the tire shop do it. But if I had to, I can. I had a flat tire not too long ago. And so I jacked the car up, took the tire off, threw it in the back of the other car, and took it down to the tire store and got it fixed. Okay. But there are a lot of men out there, and I don't want to seem like we're woman bashing, but men, you need to know how to do the basic things. I mean, you don't have to be an expert at it, but you got to know how to do the basic things. Chance, are you guys doing anything to teach people how to do these basics?
Yeah, so, and that's what this training is all about. We take you step by step by step. We just did a class not too long ago on fire safety. Understanding that if you live in an area that is prone to fires, that should be one of your main goals, is to get prepared for that incident. Ask yourself, do I have the basic necessities if a fire were to come into my area? Do you even have a working fire extinguisher? Okay. Have you planted bushes next to your house and you know, becoming a fire hazard? What have you done to prepare? So that's what we do. We take you step by step by step. Folks, the good news, this is the good news, is you can do this on any budget, any budget. So whether you're living paycheck to paycheck, or you know, you have some extra funds in your bank account, it doesn't really matter. Anyone can do this. You just have to be a bit creative, okay? Let us teach you how to do that.
Well, and you know what, that's really important. What you just said right there, Chance, is that, you know, people think that if you have $1 million in the bank, then sure, you can be prepared. But it doesn't have to take that. You guys at American Survival Wholesale actually work with people to make it affordable for them to prepare. Is that right?
Absolutely. So that's one of the questions, you know, what is your budget? You know, so if you're on a strict budget, there's still ways to do that. we need to find out. We'll put you on a plan. So, okay, I can't do everything right this minute, and that's fine. But let's look over the next 3 to 4 months. Over the next 3 to 4 months, I think we can get there, just little by little by little, just doing this and doing this and doing this. And many things, again, folks, you can do on your own. Here, let's talk. This is just a great example. We talk about water storage and having 200 gallons of water on hand. Did you know that in most towns, you can go on Craigslist and you can get these 55-gallon food-grade drums for next to nothing? Okay, these things cost about $120 brand new, but you can get them for about $25 on Craigslist. And the reason why is you have these companies like Monster drinks and some of these high-calorie energy drinks. They buy that syrup in those containers. Once they're done, it does not make sense for that manufacturer to send them back, so they just give them away. So having just 4 of those right there, getting 4 of those for under 25 bucks a piece, you have now 200 gallons of water on hand for your family in case of emergency. It's just little things like that, folks. We can go on, but call me and we'll help you through it.
Well, let me ask you this, Chance. I mean, because this is, we store water. I mean, we have a stream that runs through our property, so I don't think we're at any risk. But what do you add to the water to preserve it for the long term? I mean, what do you put in it to keep it pure so that you can drink it, say, a year from now?
So the cheapest and the easiest alternative is to use chlorine, not that color safe stuff, but just household bleach. Okay, so the formula is 1 teaspoon for every gallon of water that you're going to be storing for over 3 years. It's a half a teaspoon for water that you're going to be storing under that period of time, up to about 3 years. Okay, a half a teaspoon per gallon of water. It does not really affect the flavor, but what it does is it sterilizes the water. Technically, it disinfects the water against any live bacteria or viruses. Now, the other thing about water is storing it away from sunlight and direct heat, and there's a reason for that. So if you have, for example, you go down to the store and you buy a gallon, a clear, transparent gallon of water, and you set it in the sunlight, what's going to happen? Well, within 3 to 4 days, you're going to start to see that water discolor, and that's because there's algae that's actually growing in the water, right? Unfortunately, that's the case. So you have to sanitize your water in order for it to be what we call potable. Now, if you're not going to be drinking that water and it's going to be used for cleaning or flushing a toilet or something like that, then it really doesn't matter. But for potable water, you must treat it. As a matter of fact, we do have, and it's not an infomercial, we do actually have the water disinfection tablets to make it a lot simpler that are iodine based. And if you don't really have the room, say you live in an apartment and it's packed as it is, we have water pouches that have a 5-year shelf life. What's great about those is they're only 4 ounces each pouch. They're in Mylar containers. They last 5 years, and you can store them just about anywhere because they're so small.
Well, I mean, and we got to kind of wrap this up here today. And I really appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to come on and talk to people about this. But let's look at one thing before we go, and that is you can go quite a few days without any food. But how long can you go without water?
Yeah, you have 48 hours before your body starts to go into dehydration mode. It's very, very dangerous getting to that situation. So up to 72 hours, but man, I tell you, if you don't get water in your system within 24 to 48 hours, you're in trouble. You're absolutely in trouble.
Well, Chance, listen, thank you so much. And again, folks, you want to go and listen, American Freedom Radio. Chance, where do they go to see your show or to listen to your show?
It's AmericanFreedomRadio.com, at www.AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Just scroll down to the bottom of the page. You will see a American Survival Wholesale banner there. Just click on that. It'll take you right to the archives, and they're listed by date, real easy. Speaking of dates, here the Watchmen coming up in March of 2018. I'm so excited to be a part of that. Mike, I do want to say this. Every year, I don't know how you guys do it, but every year those conferences get better and better. And you are bringing on one of my favorite people, Henry Gruver. That is worth it, folks. If you have not listened to Henry Gruver, please do so. Go on YouTube and type in Henry Gruver. He is an amazing minister, an amazing man. And he is worth the ticket price alone to hear the Watchmen, to hear Henry Gruver speak.
Well, thank you for that, Chance. And, you know, folks, we are very excited. Jeannie and I have been praying for 3 years to be able to do a conference at a time when Henry Gruver is in the state. And it just happened this year. I mean, go figure it out, right? But he will be there, as will be all our other speakers. It's an amazing conference. And Chance has been a part of Hear the Watchmen from the beginning. I mean, he was actually there when Jeannie and I were like, I think we need to do this conference. And he's been a part of it. And I want to let you know, Chance, we deeply appreciate your support. And folks, go to Chance's website, AmericanSurvivalWholesale.com. Go to his website. Go to his radio show on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Go there, check it out. You won't be disappointed. He is not all about selling product and about the money. And I'm telling you, he's got something coming up in the next 60 days here, it will just blow your socks. So stay tuned. We'll be back at you then. Chance, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, brother. And we're very excited about what's coming up. It's so hard to not talk about it, but I don't want to say anything yet. But listen, I do want to say this. I don't think we talked about this last time. Folks, if you want to help other people prepare, and you would like to become a distributor for American Survival Wholesale, I've just made this program even more attractive. Basically, to become a distributor, you pay $200 to get $400 worth of products to show to other people. It's hard to say, you know, I'm in the preparedness business and, you know, I want to help you prepare without having something to show those people. So you're going to get $400 worth of product for $200. That's all you need to do. Anywhere in the upper 48, you know, and you would like to help other people prepare, maybe make some extra money. In the meantime, please give us a call or an email. bugoutamerica@usa.com is our email. Phone number is 818-720-0759. And we'll help you along the way. Thanks again, Mike.
Awesome. Hey, Chance, give us that phone number one more time.
Sure. 818-720-0759.
Folks, get busy. Pick the phone up, call Chance, talk to him. He's going to help you out. He's going to help you to prepare for those times that we know are coming. So get there, be prepared. Now, listen, as always here on the Watchman's Report, we want to let you go with one thought in mind. You can do anything with Christ in your heart except nothing at all. So get busy, get out there, do something, help your brother or sister today, and make the world a better place. God bless each and every one of you. Talk to you again on the next Watchman's Report.